Good evening, all of you.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
அனைவருக்கும் என் அன்பான வணக்கங்கள். வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோ. வாங்கப்பா. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Welcome, Rakesh.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome, sir. Manivaran, sir. Vaanga, sir. Ravi Shankar, sir. Vaanga, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Smita, welcome. Yesterday we have discussed about basic concept of financial management. There are two basic aspects. Are there. What are the two basic aspects?
Procurement of fund,
Procurement of fund and effective utilization.
effective utilization of funds.
Then, before I am going to procure the fund, procurement either by way of own fund or by way of borrowed fund. Before I am going to procure the fund, I have to analyze the characteristics of source of fund. Three different characters are there. What are they?
Risk control.
Risk, cost control.
High risk goes to which fund?
High risk goes to borrowed funds.
Borrowed fund. High cost risk is based on repayment. High cost goes to which fund?
Own fund.
Own
Own
fund.
funds.
Cost represent in case of own fund, payment of dividend is the cost of the company. In case of borrowed fund, payment of interest is the cost of the company. Own fund is costlier than borrowed fund. For the next one, control. High control goes to which fund?
Borrowed fund.
Borrowed funds.
Borrowed fund. Dilution of control is possible in
Own funds.
own fund. Then we have to use the fund properly and profitably because procurement itself involves some cost. We have to do cost benefit analysis before you are going to utilize the fund. Idle fund, unutilized fund, if any, how to verify. What are the two objectives of financial management? And object and
Profit maximization and wealth maximization.
profit maximization and wealth
Wealth
maximization.
maximization.
Which one is a short-term approach?
Profit maximization.
Which one is must?
Profit.
Profit maximization.
Best.
Wealth maximization.
Wealth maximization.
Which one is more important?
Wealth maximization.
Wealth maximization.
Profit maximization. Clear? Then, what are the two arguments in favor of profit maximization? Any two arguments in favor of profit maximization?
Profit is must see.
Okay.
It is important for survival of
And,
the business.
What might is important for?
Survival of the business.
Very good. Survival of the business. Second one.
Operations of business.
Second one. Fast. One more question. Fast.
Day-to-day operations of the business, we need profit.
Day-to-day operation. What are the two arguments in favor of wealth maximization? Point number one.
Long-term process.
Goodwill, sir. Enhance the goodwill of the company.
Okay. Long-term process useful outcome. Next.
Goodwill of the company.
The business.
Okay. Another next one.
Survival of the business.
Wealth maximization.
Essential for growth and market share of the
Essential for growth and to market share. Very good, Pranav. Two argument against profit maximization. Any two argument?
Does not consider time value of money.
Time value of money consider panna. Second one. Good.
Difficult to manage for a longer period of time.
Manage. Where the answer?
If there's loss in the current business, at present, it is difficult to mitigate the losses if there's only profit.
Okay. Then argument against wealth maximization. Two arguments in against wealth maximization. Example content இருக்கணும் எழுதுறதுக்கு புரிஞ்சா மட்டும் போதாது. One aspect you have to understand. Second aspect, what and all you understood, you should be the person to deliver. Points இல்லைன்னா பாஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. Homework question தான். குயிக்கா சொல்லுங்க. What
there is
else?
no distinct line between financial decisions and share price.
Okay, next.
Uh,
எல்லா வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ண quick respond for the second point. Arguments against wealth maximization. படிக்கல பத்தாது சீரியஸ்னஸ் இல்லைன்னு. எக்ஸாம் இது 4 மார்க் பாயிண்ட் 4 பாயிண்ட்ஸ் என்ன எழுதுவீங்க அப்புறம் இப்ப படிக்க போறீங்க. நீ பாடத்தை நினைப்பு.
undesirable.
Next. What are all the 5 major roles of CFO?
Planning, source of
Planning,
funds,
source of funds,
investment of funds,
Investment
decision,
capital budget,
Capital budget.
well,
risk management.
working capital management, risk management.
Side head alone is not sufficient. You have to write at least 2-3 points. Okay. Planning na அதை பத்தி 2 பாயிண்ட் எழுதணும் 3 பாயிண்ட் எழுதணும். சோர்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஃபண்ட் பத்தி 2-3 பாயிண்ட் எழுதணும். அப்பதான் ஃபுல் மார்க் கிடைக்கும். சரியா? Next. What are all the 9 emerging issues which affect the future roles of CFO?
Globalization, stakeholders management, strategy, technology, transformation,
talent and capability,
And
regulation,
risk,
reporting. GSTR. Okay. G, S square, T cube, R cube. So that 9 points will come. Mnemonic for you. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Difference between financial accounting and financial management. Financial accounting, in what basis they will prepare?
accrual
accrual
basis,
basis.
Accrual basis,
Management.
financial
cash
management,
basis,
cash
Cash
basis,
basis.
Financial accounting for what purpose?
Reporting.
reporting purpose.
reporting purpose,
Reporting purpose.
Management is
decision
what?
making,
Decision making purpose.
Which one is first, which one is last?
First one is
Financial
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 accounting.
accounting.
Financial accounting.
financial management,
Like in the end, financial management starts.
Financial distress and insolvency. What are the difference?
so short term hiccup and
Problem
long
in
term
getting their
financial
funds.
distress.
If financial distress continues, it leads to insolvency.
It's insolvency. Okay. These are all the things we have studied yesterday. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Next palangla. Good.
Okay, sir.
Up to this stage, are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
எல்லாரும் homework பண்ணிட்டீங்களா?
Yes, sir.
Sound
Yes,
ஒழுங்கா
sir.
வருது. You know, P&L and the balance sheet. எல்லாருக்கும் P&L balance sheet தெரியும் இல்லையா?
Yes, sir.
Asset side, fixed assets, current assets, current liability, capital employed, that consists of equity share capital, preference share capital, long-term loan, debentures, now financial management, nothing but managing the finance is called the financial management. Management of fund, managing the finance. With a great difficulty, you are going to procure the fund, either by way of own fund or borrowed fund, we are going to collect the fund. After we got the fund, before we are investing, we have to do cost benefit analysis. The benefit is more and the cost is less, means we can invest the fund. All the topic we have to do decision making. If I am going to invest the fund in fixed assets, buying the fixed assets, it's a long term or short term fund?
Long term.
All of you.
Long term.
Long term.
No P&L balance sheet. Right? With a great difficulty, I procured the fund. After procuring the fund, I would like to invest the fund. If I'm going to invest the fund in fixed asset, it's a long term or short term?
Long term.
Long term, sir.
So this is a
Term.
decision making with respect to long term.
Long term, sir.
Decision making with respect to long term decision making process called capital budgeting. அதுக்கு என்ன பேரு? Capital budgeting, also called investment decision. Capital budgeting இன்னொரு name என்ன? Investment decision. If I'm going to invest the fund in current asset and current liability, it's a long term or short term?
Short term.
Short term. That decision making analysis is called working
Working
capital.
capital management.
Current asset, current liability decision making is called working capital. To invest the fund, first I need to fund procurement of fund. Whether I have to get the fund through equity share capital or preference share capital or long-term loan or debenture, in which manner I have to get the fund. For that, we have to do the decision. That decision-making analysis is called cost of capital and capital structure. Cost of capital as well as and capital structure. Out of capital employed, equity preference are called own fund, proprietor fund. Long-term and debentures are called borrowed fund. So how much I supposed to have own fund? How much I supposed to get the borrowed fund? That decision-making analysis is called leverage analysis. What is that called? Leverage analysis. Are you with me, all of you?
Yes, sir.
If I'm going to have overall analysis of entire P&L and the balance sheet, full analysis, that is called ratio analysis. Clear? So, ratio analysis, capital budgeting, investment decision, working capital management, cost of capital, capital structure, leverage analysis, these are all called your FM syllabus. Understood the overview of financial management syllabus? புரியுதுங்களா? All are comfortable?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Note பண்ணியாச்சா? I'll note down. Overview of FM syllabus. Complete பண்ணியாச்சப்பா? Good. Any doubt in overview of FM Geeta? புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா? அக்கல்லையா முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா?
Yes, sir.
Next. எல்லாம் வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோ. பிக். Throughout the class video on தான் இருக்கும்.
Sir, will turn on in 2 minutes.
Okay. Now you got the grip over what all the chapters are there, right? Syllabus. Now we are going to start with important topic, working capital management. Little bigger topic also. So let's start working capital. Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Working capital management. Note it down. Meaning, excess of current asset over current liability. Excess of current asset over current liability. are known as working capital. Excess of current asset over current liabilities are known as working capital. Next. Working capital is equal to formula. Working capital is equal to current asset minus current liabilities. Hope you know what is called current asset, what is called current liability. Am I right? Current asset assets which are readily convertible into cash within a short duration called current asset. Current liability represents obligation for the repayment arises within short duration is called current liability. You know, example for the current asset. Am I right? Sundry debtor, closing stock, inventory, or short-term investment, prepaid cash in hand, cash at bank, prepaid expenses. Bills receivable. These are all called current asset. Current liability, sundry creditors, bank
Bills
overdraft,
payable.
bills payable, outstanding expenses. These are all called current liability. India. Okay. Next note. Classification of working capital. Classification of working capital. Segregated into two parts. Classification of working capital. Segregated into two parts. One is based on concept-based classification. Concept. Another one is time-based classification. Concept-based, time-based classification. எழுதும்போது சொல்லிட்டே எழுதுங்க, அப்பதான் உங்களுக்கு மனசுல பதியும். ஒரு ரிவிஷன் ஜே கிளாஸ்லயே முடிச்சிடும். சரியா? Concept-based classification, time-based classification. Under concept-based classification, two types are there. அது ரெண்டா பிரிச்சுக்கும். One is gross working capital. Another one is net working capital. Gross working capital and net working capital. Time-based classification, two types are there. Permanent working capital and temporary working capital. Permanent and temporary working capital. Under gross working capital, it represents current asset alone. Under gross working capital, it represents current asset alone. Under net working capital, it represents current asset and current liabilities. Under permanent working capital, minimum amount of working capital required at any given point of time. Minimum amount of working capital required at any given point of time. Okay. It's also called fixed working capital or hardcore working capital. Hardcore working capital. Next. Temporary working capital அதுக்கு over and above the permanent working capital, over and above the permanent working capital are known as temporary working capital. It's also called variable working capital, fluctuating working capital, variable or fluctuating working capital. Understood, Kanna? These are all working capital classification. Next heading, working capital cycle. Test or mark, important question. Working capital cycle. Working capital cycle. Meaning, time duration required for which conversion of time duration required for which conversion of cash into cash equivalent, thereafter back into cash. Time duration required for which conversion of cash into cash equivalent, thereafter back into cash are known as
Sir, cash into cash equivalent and then,
thereafter
okay.
back into cash, BACK, back into cash are known as working capital cycle. The definition, important definition, I'll repeat. Time duration required for which conversion of cash into cash equivalent, thereafter back into cash. So all of you repeat, what is called working capital cycle?
Time duration required for
Time
which
duration
conversion
required.
of cash into cash equivalent,
Thereafter back into
thereafter
cash.
back into
After
cash
back
is
into
known as
cash,
working capital cycle.
Yeah, repeat one more time.
Time
Time
duration
duration
Time
required
duration
for
required for which
conversion of
conversion of cash into cash equivalent, thereafter back into cash is known as working capital cycle.
Known as working capital.
Next. It's also known as cash cycle, operating cycle, business cycle, budget cycle. Next, segments in operating cycle. Segments in operating cycle. First one, lead time, LEAD, lead time. Second one, process or production cycle. Process or production cycle. Stock holding period. And average collection period. Stock holding period, adukapram average collection period. Okay. Lead time, process or production cycle, stock holding period, and average collection period. Formula for operating cycle. Raw material plus WIP plus finished goods plus debtor minus creditor. Raw material plus WIP plus finished goods plus debtor minus creditor. Note, it should be expressed in days or months. It should be expressed in days or months. Next. Number of operating cycle in a year is equal to number of operating cycle in a year is equal to 365 divided by operating cycle. Number of operating cycle in a year is equal to 365 divided by operating cycle. Note, it should be expressed in time or cycle. Time no solna, cycle no solna. So all of you repeat, what is the formula for operating cycle?
Raw material plus
Raw
work in
material
progress
plus work in
finished
progress
goods plus
finished
debtors
goods
minus
debtors
creditors.
minus creditors.
Okay. Now, number of operating cycle in a year is equal to
365 divided by operating cycle.
okay. Dear students, in your notebook, last few pages, kindly earmark for formula for your quick revision. Immediately, now itself. Go to last few pages. Law formula, whenever you come across formula, you can copy the same. So that last minute revision is useful. Please do formula for your quick revision. Last few pages, you can earmark. Two column table பிரிச்சுக்கோ. என்ன ஃபார்முலா அதோட ஃபார்முலா என்ன? Working capital cycle அப்படின்னா ஃபார்முலா raw material plus WIP plus finished goods plus debtor. Number of operating cycle அதுக்குள்ள ஃபார்முலா 365 divided by operating cycle. எப்பப்பெல்லாம் ஃபார்முலா வருதோ அதில் அப்டேட் பண்ணிட்டே வா. ஒரு ரிவிஷன் ஆச்சு, லாஸ்ட் மினிட் எக்ஸாம் வால் போட் பண்ணி ஒரு குயிக்காக ரிவைஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? சரிங்களாக்கா? Good.
Yes, sir.
Now, there are two basic aspects are there in the financial management. What are they gonna?
Procurement of fund and
Procurement of funds and effective
Procurement and
utilization of
effective
funds.
utilization of funds.
Okay. With a great difficulty, we are going to procure the fund. Procure panna kaila cash irukku illaya, we'll get the cash. That cash we are going to invest, business la invest panna porom. I am going to purchase raw material. So called cash is now called raw material. Am I right?
yes sir.
So with a great difficulty, you procure the fund. Procure panna cash kaila irukku. Those cash I am going to invest for purchasing raw material. So so-called cash is now called raw material. What I have to do with the raw material? Raw material, I'm going to convert into finished goods. The in between stage is called
work in
work in progress. So the WIP going to become
finished good.
finished goods என்ன பண்ணுவேன் சேல் பண்ணுவேன். If I'm going to sell
To debtors.
Data.
debtor கிடைக்கல. From debtor I am going to
Collect cash.
collect the cash. Collect பண்ண cash என்ன பண்ணுவேன்? Again I'm going to invest. I'll purchase raw material. So it's one cycle. திரும்ப அதான பண்ண போறேன். Again I'll invest the money in cash. Raw material ஆகும். WIP finished goods debtor. I will get the cash. Again I'm going to invest. So the cycle is called operating cycle. Also called working capital cycle. Understood what is called working capital cycle? All of you, புரியுதுங்களா?
Sir.
Now, I am having cash. I am going to purchase a raw material. In between the time gap is called. Immediately, I have to find where is the supplier, I have to place an order, thereafter they have to deliver. That time gap is called lead time. The time gap is lead time. Raw material is there. I want to convert the raw material to finished goods. In the time gap, process cycle, also called production cycle. I am having finished goods. Produce பண்ணனே எல்லாம் வாங்கிட மாட்டான். Till it is going to reach the customer, I have to keep the raw material in a good condition. I have to hold the raw material in a good condition. I have to hold the finished goods in a good condition to reach the customer. That time gap is called stock holding period. I am holding the stock till it is going to reach the customer. That's why it's called stock holding period. I sold the product. I have to collect the cash from the debtor. That time gap is called average collection period. So the lead time, process or production cycle, stock holding period, and the average collection periods are called segments in working capital cycle. Logic for the segments in working capital. Got it, my dears?
So this LT and the next one, please repeat it, sir.
Enamo?
That LT lead time.
Lead time, process or production cycle, stock holding period, average collection period.
Process or production cycle in the sense, sir, from raw material conversion of
Conversion to
WIP.
finished goods, what are all the time gap? That gap is called process cycle or production cycle.
Okay. Lead time, sir?
I am having cash. I want to purchase a raw material.
Okay.
So, even after placing the order, it has to reach the product to the customer, raw material to our godown. That time gap is called the lead time.
Thank you.
இப்போ யா பர்த்டே வந்துருச்சு உனக்கு குட்டி பாய் பர்த்டே இஸ் கமிங் மரேஜ்
Yes, sir. You remember everything so well.
ஹாப்பி பர்த்டே வெல் இன் அட்வான்ஸ்
Thank you, sir.
முன்னாடி கம்யூனிட்டி தானே
I'll be showing your daughter's videos to him, sir.
they come to Chennai.
Will you go to Chennai? I don't know.
I don't know. Frank சொல்லிட்டா காப்பி பண்ணிட்டீங்களா எல்லாரும்? Go to problem number 1, working capital management. Problem number 1. வசந்தி படிக்கிறீங்களா?
Sir,
Kindly read the question.
sir,
Capital management.
one minute.
Page 35.
Thank you.
That's it.
Calculate cash cycle and number of cash cycles in a year, assuming a 360-day year with the help of following information. Stock holding raw material 45 days, work in progress 30 days, finished goods 1 month, average collection period from debtors 70 days, time lag in payment of bills 60 days.
What is the requirement of the question?
Calculate cash cycle, number of cash cycles in a year.
Cash cycle formula.
Sir, is it from study material, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Raw material plus WIP plus finished goods plus debtor minus creditor. It's a formula for operating cycle or cash cycle. Okay. Raw material, how many days? Time raw material
45 days.
45 days.
45 days.
WIP
30 days.
30 days.
finished goods
1
month.
month, 30 days.
30 days. Debtors
70 days, sir.
Oh, okay.
creditors
60 days.
therefore
115 days.
115 days is the answer. Understood? Kana?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cash cycle or operating cycle is equal to 115 days. Next requirement. Number of cash cycles in a
Cash
year.
cycles in a year.
Formula
360 divided by
65 divided by
360.
60
this
divided by
specific information is there. Therefore, 360 divided by operating cycle.
operating cycle.
5.
Cash cycle.
3.13.
360 divided by
3.13 times
5 is equal to 3.13 times
Times size.
3.13 cycle.
cycle.
Pranjita, any difficulty?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Nowadays, this type of question, they are asking the MCQs rather asking separate question. So you should clear the question to known and manage this type of question. Complete connection.
Times. Okay.
Copied.
Yes, sir.
Shall I go to the next problem?
Yes, sir.
Samyukta, read the question.
Sorry. The following information is forecasted by CS Limited for the year ending 31st March 2018. Components are raw material, work in progress, finished goods, debtors and creditors. The balances on 1st April 2017 for raw material is 45,000. For work in progress is 35,000. For finished good, it's 60,181. For debtors, it's 1,12,123, and for creditors is 50,079. Balances at the year end of 2018 for raw materials, it's 65,356. For work in progress is 51,300. Finished goods 70,175. For debtors, it's 1,35,000. For creditors, it's 70,469. Annual purchases of raw materials, 90% credit purchases is 4 lakhs. Annual cost of production is 7,50,000. Annual cost of goods sold is 9,15,000. Annual operating cost is 9,50,000. appreciation element included above 20,000, annual says 80% credit is 11 lakhs. We are required to calculate that the net operating cycle required, number of operating cycles in a year, annual working capital requirement.
Shall we start? Now, speciality of this question is operating cycle you have to compute. Operating cycle we have to express in
Days.
Yes.
days or months. But all available data are in rupees level. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So operating cycle we need in days, we have to compute in days, but data are available in rupees level. Therefore, you have to convert the rupees into days. In this juncture, we have to use the tool called turnover ratio. And I use one no? Turnover.
Turnover ratio.
So in exam, they won't specify. First find the turnover ratio, thereafter compute operating cycle. You have to identify the problem is based on turnover ratio or not. So how to identify the problem? We have to compute turnover ratio.
Rupees 2 days or month.
Operating cycle.
Is it rupees
But
2
rupees
days?
we need turnover. We have to compute by of turnover ratio. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Listen here, right?
Yes, sir.
Statement of computation of operating cycle. That is what our requirement. Component. Formula.
Sorry, I'm not getting the question, sir. Can I know the page number?
Now you have to see the PDF, not study material.
Oh, I'm
PDF
checking
is
the
there in
study
the group.
material. That's what then I asked.
Yeah, yeah.
Component. Formula.
PDF.
PDF is there in the group.
Yesterday it was shared. That one, sir.
Sorry, page number 35 you have to take.
Okay. Yesterday it was shared some PDF, na same.
Yeah. It was yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Component, formula, calculation, turnover ratio. Thereafter only you can compute operating cycle in days. With respect to component, raw material. Formula for raw material turnover ratio is raw material consumption divided by average stock of raw material. Raw material consumption represents what? Opening stock of raw material plus purchase during the period minus closing stock of raw material is equal to raw material consumption. Average stock of raw material represents opening plus closing, opening stock of raw material plus closing stock of raw material divided by 2 is equal to average stock. Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Can you please compute raw material consumption? Opening stock of raw material 45,000. Add purchase during the period 4 lakhs. Am I right?
Yes,
Left
sir.
closing stock of raw material 65,365.
65,360.
356. Yeah. Therefore, raw material consumption how much?
3,79,644.
3,79,644
Yes, sir.
divided by average stock of raw material, opening stock of raw material plus closing stock of raw material divided by 2 is equal to average.
55,178.
55,178. Therefore, turnover ratio in the formula.
Six point 88.
6.88.
88. Am I right? turnover ratios be in times. Similarly, WAP turnover ratio, cost of production divided by average stock of WAP. Cost of production given in this question. How much now?
7,50,000.
50,000.
Average stock of WAP opening plus closing divided by 2 is equal to average.
43,150.
43,150.
Therefore, turnover ratio comes to
17.38.
raw material over WAP. Next, finished goods turnover ratio, cost of sales or cost of goods sold divided by average stock of finished goods. How much the cost of sales or cost of goods sold? Gayatri, are you comfortable?
9,15,000.
Sir, I missed in between, sir. I'll take the notes from someone later. My son was like often coming and asking me something or this something.
You got the PDF or not?
I got the PDF. I was searching in study material, so I missed some part and later again he asked after
Now
checking
only
the
we
question. I
got it.
missed that.
See the formula I can fill it up. Can you
Yes.
open the PDF page number?
35.
Go to 35, 35th page. Went or not? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There, finished goods, I wrote the formula. Am I right? What the formula for finished goods I wrote? Finished goods turnover ratio, cost of sales divided by average stock of finished goods. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, kindly refer in that question. Cost of sales, how much available? Cost of
9,15,000.
average stock of finished goods, how much? Opening plus closing divided by 2 is equal to how much? Compute and tell. Opening stock of finished goods plus closing stock of finished goods divided by 2 is equal to how much? Easy one. Right. Don't get panic and all.
Yes.
How much can now?
1,30,356.
No. Finished goods. Is it right? 1 lakh. Opening stock of finished goods 60,181. Closing stock of finished goods 70,175. Divided by 2, how much can now?
Oh, divided by 2. Okay.
Average stock. Opening plus closing divided by 2.
65,178.
65,170.
78.
Right, that's all. Therefore, what is the turnover ratio? 9,15,000 divided by 65,178 is equal to how much?
14.04.
14.04
0.
times. So raw material over, WAP over, finished goods over. Next, debtors. With respect to debtors, credit sales divided by average debtor. Total sales, how much available by 3?
4.
11 lakhs.
Out of which credit sales, how much?
80%.
80%. 8,80,000 is the credit sales. Am I right? 80% on 11 lakh. Divided by average debtor, how much? Opening debtor plus closing debtor by 2 is equal to how much by 3?
Yes, sir. Check. One lakh 23,562.
Okay, Adakanu. Therefore, turnover ratio, how much? Durga compute பண்றீங்க verify பண்றீங்களா? Turnover ratio comes to how much?
7.12, sir.
So raw material over, WEP over, finished good over, debtor over. Now we are going for creditor. With respect to creditors, credit purchase divided by average creditors. Any credit purchase, cash purchase, credit percentage verification.
Yes, sir.
Annual purchase
4
9.
lakh into
4 lakhs.
90%.
90%.
3,60,000.
3,60,000.
Yes, sir.
Gayatri, understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Average creditors, opening creditor plus closing creditor is equal to average.
Okay.
Compute, all of you compute and verify. Take for one time till tomorrow. Average creditors.
60,274. 60,274. 5.97 times.
5.97.
9,7.
So all of you got turnover ratio. Any doubt? Kanna?
Yes. No, sir.
No, all of you repeat. What is the formula for raw material turnover ratio?
Raw material consumption
Raw
divided
material
by average
consumption
stock
divided
of
by
raw
average
material.
stock of raw material.
Repeat one more time.
Raw material
Raw
consumption
material consumption divided by
Materials
average
consumption by average stock of raw materials.
WAP turnover ratio.
cost of production divided by average stock of WIP.
Repeat one more time.
Cost of
Cost
production
of
divided by
production.
average stock of WIP.
Finished goods turnover ratio.
Cost of sales divided by average
Average stock of finished goods.
divided by
Repeat.
Cost of sales divided by average stock of finished goods.
average stock of finished
Debtors
goods.
turnover ratio.
Credit sales divided by average
Repeat.
debtors.
Credit sales divided by average
Divided
debtors.
by average of debtors.
Creditors turnover ratio.
Credit purchase divided by average
Divided by
creditors.
average creditor.
Repeat one more time.
Credit
Credit
purchase.
purchase
Credit purchase divided by
average
average creditors.
creditors.
All are comfortable. Now we
Yes,
got
yes.
turnover ratio. But operating cycle you have to express in days.
Yes, sir.
How to convert into days? 1 year is equal to 360 or 365 in this question.
In this question, 3,
360.
nothing given, sir.
Nothing is given in 1 year is equal to 365.
Okay.
365 divided by turnover ratio is equal to days. Okay. So 365 divided by 6.88 is equal to how much?
53 days, sir.
53 days. Gayatri, Purida Kanna.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, 365 divided by 17.38 is equal to how many days?
21 days.
21 days. Next,
26 days.
26 days. Next,
51 days.
51 days.
next,
61 days.
61 days.
1, sir.
61.
61. So creditors you have to subtract. Clear? Formula for operating cycle: raw material plus WAP plus finished goods plus debtor minus creditor. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Operating cycle is equal to how much?
90 days.
90 days.
90 days.
90 days.
Number of operating cycle in a year is equal to
4.05 times.
divided by operating cycle, that 90 days. 4.05,
0.05 times.
06, sir.
cycle or 0.5
Times.
it will be time or cycle. Easier now?
Yes, sir.
All of you
Yes.
comfortable?
Yes, sir.
One more requirement is also there. Statement of estimation of working capital. You have to estimate the working capital.
Working capital of
Working capital. Annual operating cost. Annual operating cost, which is given in this question. Check it out.
9,50,000.
9,50,000.
less non-cash item Depreciation ஏதாவது கிடக்குன்னா
Yes, sir. 20,000.
20,000.
9,30,000.
Balance equal to annual cash operating cost. Clear? 9,30,000.
30,000.
The annual cash operating cost. Required amount of working capital is equal to annual cash operating cost divided by number of operating cycles divided by number of operating cycles. Okay.
24.
Annual cash operating cost 9,30,000.
Divided
Number of operating cycle எவ்வளவு பார்த்தோம்?
90 days.
4.
Number of
4.0. 4.05.
4.05.
4.05. Therefore,
2,29,630.
630.
2,29,630.
630.
630. Or if you take the fraction full எடுத்தா வேற ஏதாவது amount round figure கிடைக்கும். 4.043456 தான் இருக்கலாம் இல்லையா? Full amount எடுத்தா you'll get the different answer. Or kindly take 365 by 90 போட்டா என்ன வருது பார் full amount இடும். 365 by 90 போட்டா என்ன வருதுன்னா
4.055.
05555.
0.55555 அதையே அப்ளை பண்ண முடியும். Get the round figure கிடைக்க or nearest accurate figure கிடைக்க.
2,29,315.
315.
2,29,315.
29,315.
This is the required amount of working capital. Working capital எவ்வளவு தேவைப்படுது புரியுதுங்களா?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you have to highlight this formula. Last page எழுதி வச்சுக்கோம். Thereafter turnover ratios formula இருக்கு இல்லையா?
Yes.
These formulas also you have to note it down. You have to remember. புரியுதுங்களா?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Question manageable?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Note it down. அடுத்த டவுட் இருந்தா கேட்டுக்கலாம். அமிதா புரியுதா கண்ணா?
Attestation.
ಯಾಕೆ ಮಲ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಆಟ ಆಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ?
ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ. என்ன பழப்பழம் இருக்கு புதுசான்னு கேட்கிறேன். Completed, sir.
Good. எல்லாரும் முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in this question?
No, sir.
Thank you for the response.
No, sir.
The next question. Gayatri, read the question.
If my son is making noise, is it okay to read, sir?
Possibly you can read, otherwise I. Durga, I can read. Durga, படிக்கிறியா?
Yes, sir. Third question. Find out the working capital requirement with the help of following information and add 10% of contingencies. Average amount of locked up in stocks, finished goods rupees 8,000, raw materials 12,000, inland sales 8-week credit rupees 4,20,000, export sales 3.5 weeks credit 92,000. Other paid expenses rupees 10,000, paid half yearly in advance. Expenses incurred and their time lag. Wages 2.5 weeks, 3,50,000. Stores, materials, etc. 1 month, rupees 52,000. Rent, royalties, etc. 3 months, rupees 16,000. Salary 0.5 months, 85,000. Miscellaneous expenses 2 months, 64,000. That's it, sir.
Statement of estimation of
Working capital.
working capital required. Component calculation and amount in rupees. What minus what is equal to working capital?
Current asset minus current liabilities.
Current assets minus current.
Current asset minus current. Under the current asset, first raw material. Any data with respect to raw material available?
Yes, sir.
கொடுத்திருக்கானா? How
Yes,
much?
sir. Amount locked up in stocks. Raw material 12,000.
Given.
12,000.
Ready-made answer is there, mean you have to write given. Raw material, same order you have to go. WIP, available or not?
No, sir.
In this question, no WIP. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Finished goods,
Yes, sir.
Finished
8,000.
8,000.
Given, sir.
given 8,000. So raw material over, WIP over, finished goods over. Next, debtor. With respect to debtors, we are having inland sales. Yeah,
Yes.
local inland.
Yes, sir.
So any info for inland sales kana?
4,20,000.
420 kana? Okay, Durga.
No, sir.
4,20,000. 4,20,000. Out total sales 4,20,000. Out of which, how many months or how many weeks outstanding?
8 weeks credit, sir.
8 weeks credit. So 1 year sales 4,20,000, out of which 8 weeks only outstanding. 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. Therefore, how much the debtor out of inland sales? Gayatri, understood or not? 52 weeks is equal to 1 year. Am I right? Total 1 year sales 4,20,000. 8 weeks alone outstanding. That's the debtor. Comes to how much kana?
6,40,000. Sorry, 64,615.
615. 64, 615.
615.
Then export sales. Yeah.
Yes,
Total
sir.
sales how much?
92,000. 92,000.
How many months or how many weeks outstanding?
3.5 weeks.
Weeks of
5 weeks credit.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes weeks will be there, sometimes months will be there. Okay. So 3.5 weeks comes to
6,192.
192.
so raw material over, WIP over, finished goods over, debtor over. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Creditor.
Any other current asset, prepaid or cash, other cover?
Paid expenses.
Half yearly
In advance. Yes, sir. 10,000 half paid in advance. Other expenses.
prepaid expenses. Paid half yearly net. Totally how much?
10,000.
10,000, sir.
Paid half yearly net advance comes to 5,000 is the
5,000.
prepaid. That is also current asset. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Total current asset. Total
95,807.
95,807.
95,807.
807.
Total current asset. Next, current liability. Any doubt up to this current asset?
No, sir.
Now we have to go for current liability. Sundry creditors available or not?
No, sir.
No. If I'm going to purchase stores raw material, the outstanding payment is called creditor. So stores material outstanding
Yes, sir.
that is called creditor only. Understood?
Okay, sir.
How
Yes,
much
sir.
the store purchase total value gonna?
52,000, sir.
52,000. out of is
1 month.
1 month.
1 month, sir.
1 month payment pending. Comes to time lag will delay.
Okay.
4,333.
4,330.
4,333.
333.
4,330. Next. Any outstanding expenses?
Wages.
Wages 2.5 weeks. 3,50,000.
Outstanding wages
3,50,000 into 2.5
into
weeks. Weeks.
50,000 into 3.52.
5
2.5 divided by 52.
2,692.
692 order.
Yes, sir.
Check panningo. Then what are the next outstanding?
16,000.
Tapar kappa.
16,827.
7.
16,827.
16,827. Next. What are the next outstanding?
Rent royalties.
Outstanding rent and royalty. Yeah. Total rent
Yes,
royalty.
sir. 16,000.
8,000.
3 divided by 12.
16,000 into 3 by 12.
3 divided by 12. 4,000.
What next?
Salary.
Outstanding salary. How much?
85,000
into 0.5 by 12.
0.5 12.
0.5 months per bit. Comes to
3,540. 542.
3542.
any other outstanding?
Miscellaneous expenses.
Miscellaneous.
Outstanding miscellaneous expenses.
64,000 into 2 divided by 12.
2 by 12.
Yes, sir.
Comes to
10,667.
10,067.
667. Any other outstanding? That's all.
That's it, sir.
Total current liability.
39,369.
Current asset minus current liability is equal to working
Working
capital.
capital. 56,438.
56,438.
56. 4. Any contingency safety margin is there?
10.
10%.
10%, sir.
Safety margin 10% you have to add. Comes to 5,644. Total is called
62,082. 6208.
amount of
52,082.
working capital. How much?
62,082.
The required amount of working capital. Got it? புரிஞ்சதா எல்லாருக்கும்?
Yes, sir.
Is it manageable? How much the fund we need for working capital that we are estimating? Gayatri, manageable kana?
Yes, sir.
Copy. November 16th is the last date for submission of all exam applications. 16th November. Okay. Late fee with 600 rupees. 19th November is the last date.
Yes, sir.
Complete பண்ணியாச்சா?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Completely
Yes, sir.
completed. Completely completed.
Yes, sir.
For Gita manageable. Homework questions. Page number 39, question number 4. From Financial Management textbook. Page number 39, question number 4. Question number 6. And 7. 3 questions. Muthu, the copy of group question and answer who were not received the book and they refer those document. Okay. 3 questions homework based on working capital cycle as well as estimation of capital.
Sir, where can we get this study material, sir?
Which study material? This book, Mama.
Yes, sir.
This book you will get it through post. Okay, Monday they are going to post. So we are going to post. Okay, we'll get it through post. Okay, ma.
Okay, sir. Super.
Meantime, Muthundal already having the book. He will send the pic to you. Okay, you can manage.
Okay, sir. No issue.
So all of you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
So, any doubt in today's
Yes, sir.
session?
No, sir.
So நடத்துறத படிச்சுட்டே வாங்கோ. Okay, don't miss any class. Okay, every class we are having the backup. Every class we are having backup in the YouTube. But the way in which you are going to attend the live class, அதுக்கு ஈடாகும் ஆகாது. Right or not? இந்த ஸ்பீடு இருக்கா? ரெக்கார்ட் கிளாஸ் பார்த்தாலும் கொஞ்சம் போரிங்கா இருக்கும். தனியா உட்காந்து படிக்க முடியாது. கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ண மாட்டேன். இந்த மாதிரி டிசிப்ளின்டா இருக்காது. Don't miss the class. Only in case of unavoidable circumstance, if you miss the class, you can make use of the recorded class. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So டெய்லி நடத்துறது அன்னைக்கு நடத்த படிச்சிடும். இமீடியட்லி ஹவு டு கோ அண்ட் ஸ்டடி. ஓகே, எல்லாம் சோபல் சைஸ் தான் கொடுக்குறோம். ஆஃப்டர் ஆல் வில் வாட் ரிவைஸ் ஒன்லி 2 things. right? Operating cycle and based on that problem, and how to estimate working capital based on the same. Right or not? 2 things only we did. Based on that, past exam questions also, homework question I have given. So refer today's practical problem, theory as well as practical problem. Write the homework that it's equal to self-test for you. Thereafter you can verify the answer. நீ ஆன்சர் போட்டேன்னா அப்பா புரிஞ்சிருச்சுன்னு ஒரு ஹாப்பினஸ் உனக்கு கிடைக்கும் இல்லையா? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow we'll meet again. Okay. This class.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow 8 o'clock evening we can meet. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Today's
sir.
Do the
recording,
homework.
where
Kindly
can
do
I
the
find?
Yes, Kana Gayatri.
Today's recording, where can I find? Like, is there any link will you share? So today I
I will
missed
share.
something.
I
I'll
will
just
share.
put it
Sure,
once
I'll share.
again.
I'll share Kana. The group itself I'll share. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye all of
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye all of you. Good night.